35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome in to the WTIM Morning Show. You are listening to the WTIM Information Station. My name's Tim Zalabak. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, and Landmark of Taylorville. Now I'm sitting down with Kirby Kastner. She's the Pana Economic Development Director. How are you today, Kirby?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know it's a busy time in Pana, especially. County Fair coming down the way, all types of summer activities. So, yeah, we want to know what's going on in Pana, the projects going on, what's going on downtown. Tell us everything.
Oh, tons of stuff. There's a lot of movement going on in downtown Pana. One of the updates everybody sees driving through Pana is our Jack Flash construction site that we have going on. They're putting those final decorative pieces on the outside of the building, and it's a very large project, and it looks to be wrapping up in the near future. So very exciting.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. So lots of renovations, I'm sure people are seeing outside construction work. And what's some of the big developments coming away that you're excited about?
Well, aside from the Jack Flash project, and just to let you know too, that is that consists of the demolition of an entire downtown city block, and they're doing a truck stop, filling station, travel center project there. So that's a big deal. And then just a block south down the road on Route 51, Quick and Easy, our other gas station, they are kind of just going with that. And so they bought the car wash to the south, and they are going to completely rebuild and expand their operations too. So that's exciting. That's what we kind of hoped Jack Flash would do, would serve as that catalyst for future development and investment in the downtown. And that seems to be working. So
looks like you guys are seeing it already.
Yeah, for sure. And then other than that, we have our other projects, our redevelopment agreements that we've been doing with other investors and developers in downtown. So what we're trying to do is take some of our downtown historic buildings that are somewhat dilapidated and ran down, and trying to attract outside and local investment to come in and renovate them and open them up for various retail and dining options.
Totally. Okay. Because you see these community squares like you see in a lot of towns, and a lot of them can be dilapidated. Is that what you said? That's a good word.
Dilapidated.
That's a great word. And restoring that is what will bring people back into the community. And you said a whole street block right now is already kind of under construction. I can't believe what that must look like. But
right.
Yeah. Are you really are looking forward to seeing what this does for downtown?
Well, I think we're trying to create a healthy balance between new development, renovation of historic properties as well. We have to embrace, what it is that we already have in our community. And I think, since COVID and seeing the inflation of building material costs, I think it's kind of showing people maybe we should look at these older buildings and look into renovating them as opposed to demolition, development of entire new property. So, yeah.
Yeah. We've kind of been seeing that around the Taylorville Square a little bit. We have local people buying buildings and, maybe changing a window, but keeping that aesthetic of the historical buildings, like you said, because they're so important. And what kind of historical properties are you seeing in Pana right now that need some help?
So of course I'm going to talk about my favorite building. We refer to it as the music store, but it's no longer the music store, but it's an old building in downtown Pana that it's kind of like the face of our downtown area, but on the top of the building, it has a plaque up there that says 1887. And it has a very unique cast iron molded front on it. But we have a development firm that's came in and they've acquired the property, and they're going to renovate it and do some really neat stuff within that building. But it's a big undertaking. It's going to be a very expensive project and very time consuming, but it's going to pay off so much in the end. And that's what's so important about looking at these older buildings, because sometimes when you look at them right away, you don't see the beauty that they have. And a lot of those older buildings have characteristics to them that can't be replicated now. So it's important to, cherish those and renovate them.
Totally. You talk about that plaque with the cast iron. I can imagine it right now. Every city, needs something like that. You can look back. You said 18. What was it?
1887.
That's unbelievable just to think about that year. And, that something there is still standing. So
and that they were able to build something like that at that time. I can't understand how they were able to even do that, but it's amazing to me. That's why it's my favorite.
Yeah, most of the detail on those old buildings that you see, you're like, wait, they didn't have this construction equipment that we have now. Someone did that by hand.
Yeah.
So it's pretty unbelievable. It's really great you guys are restoring that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're talking about the historical properties, everything happening there. You might have mentioned it, where's the money coming from for all this?
So the money's coming from a combination of things. So essentially what we're trying to do is the incentive approach that the city is taking to try and attract this investment for future development in our downtown is we're really utilizing our TIF fund. So basically that's a fund that's generated through property tax increases. Those increases come from the development of them. So basically you take, the base property tax rate value, and then any improvements within that district over time, which is bound to happen, any of that increase in property taxes goes strictly into your TIF fund, which you use to continue to regenerate back into that district for, future improvements. So the city's utilizing their tax fund or their TIF fund for that, and trying to really attract future development. So, I mean, basically what we're really doing is the city is buying these properties and gifting them as an incentive for development to come in and just completely renovate them.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I love learning about this stuff because I just have no idea about how cities work and how small cities work. So that's really interesting. So they're gifting them to local development, business development that know how to do what they can do with money.
Correct. So essentially, and we can take the music store as an example because it was actually the first one that the city did. We purchased that property because we knew, okay, as things really start to unfold and people really start to become interested in coming to Pana to invest in its future, this is going to be a really big building that somebody's going to want to do something really neat with. So we purchased it. We found the right developer that came in. And obviously these incentives are based upon what their business plan is, and then also what they're able to contribute to the project as well. So we took that building and we gifted it to a really neat development firm. They're out of San Diego. I really don't even know how this happens, but it's really awesome to see it unfold. But yeah, and then we gift the properties as kind of like a jump start. And we're showing too, like, hey, we're invested in our future as well. We'll give you this building, and because they showed us how much they were going to put into it too. So really the acquisition cost is a drop in the bucket compared to what it's going to cost. But it shows those developers that, hey, like, the city of Pana cares about the future of their downtown. So
that's really exciting. And the investment that you can see, that makes you think well on the future if you're a citizen living in Pana. That's really awesome.
Absolutely.
And that's very cool. You said this group's out of San Diego, and I'm sure you guys went through a lot of candidates to see what the right fit would be. What made the San Diego group the right fit?
Well, honestly, with that building, they were our only ones. And so basically what we do is we make these connections with people, and then we kind of just put them in a building that we can see them being interested in. Of course, it's subject to their approval. They have to sign on to want to do it too. But this firm actually took on 2 buildings in downtown Pana and 2 lots as well. So we're going to have a really neat working relationship with them down the line. So
that's really exciting that you guys are going to have that.
And they're great people too. I can't wait for the community of Pana to meet them and see what they've done with everything. And it's really special. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And new business development means more jobs coming to the area.
Yes, exactly. And actually, that's one of the things that we've really been thinking about too, in combination with what we're trying to accomplish in downtown Pana, in addition to what we're trying to accomplish out at the industrial park. It's become more than apparent that we are going to be creating a lot of job opportunities, which is fantastic. But with that, you have to think big picture. And right now, that's led me to the idea of, do we have the housing market to support that? I don't feel that we do. I've lived in Pana my entire life, and it seems that here lately, our real estate market, we don't have as many houses on the market as what we used to have before. And so if we keep attracting people to our community for these employment opportunities, we're going to have adequate housing to sustain those people coming into our community. So recently, we had the city council agree to do a community revitalization plan through the Illinois Housing Development Authority. So basically, we'll be doing multiple surveys, data research, community stakeholder meetings, and just basically saying, like, do we have sufficient housing for what it is that we're trying to accomplish? So that's our next project that we're taking on.
That's going to be a big one. And we talk about all the time, small cities, and they're planning for the future. They're doing the right things. But then we get to this weird part where we're building a place where citizens want to live, but they don't have places to live in.
Correct.
I mean, that's such a weird conundrum we've come to face. So that is the next step is finding houses. And
you have to think about it holistically, or else you're not going to be able to accomplish everything that you're trying to set out to do.
Totally.
So Yeah.
Totally. All right. Amazing. Sitting down with Kirby Kastner right now. She's the Pana Economic Development Director. It's been a great conversation so far, learning all about the projects and development coming down the way in Pana. We're going to take our first short little break here on the WTIM Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with Kirby Kastner here on the WTIM Morning Show.
Your information station, WTIM.
You are not called upon to make funeral arrangements very often. When you are, you want to turn to somebody you trust. This is Mike Masterson with Masterson Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Kincaid. Through the years, we have grown to know the people in our area. Our family has established a reputation for providing beautiful, dignified services. We have provided 3 generations of experience, compassion, and a long-lasting tradition of community service. Let our family serve your family. Masterson Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Kincaid.
Farmers care for their land with the next generation in mind. To help growers with their conservation efforts, ADM now offers Regenerations. Regenerations provides cash payments and technical assistance for practices like cover crops and reduced tillage. Participation in Regenerations is easy, it's rewarding, and it's available now. To learn how Regenerations can help sustain your farm's legacy, contact your local ADM representative for details at 217-451-8399. That's 217-451-8399.
Are you a side sleeper? Maybe you need some extra comfort for your back. The Sealy Eurotop mattress can be just right. During Sealy Hot Buys, queen-size Eurotop mattresses are just $599 at Just Beds. Here's another offer. Nothing beats the body-hugging support of the Sealy Crown Jewel mattress. During Sealy Hot Buys, Just Beds has them at up to $240 off. Free delivery, free setup, free haul away from the Yawn Exterminators on Montvale, Springfield.
Just Beds.
Keep your health at the top of the list. We know you've got a lot on your mind. Breathe easy. The SIU Center for Family Medicine in Decatur can help and is accepting new patients. Family medicine covers a broad spectrum of care for all ages, all genders, and every kind of disease. They do this with a wide offering of treatments and specialty clinics for all patients. Call 217-824-1134 to schedule your first appointment.
Over 50 years and 3 generations of legacy serve you every day at Dale Williams Trucking in Fillmore. Here's Dale Williams Jr. talking about hauling for farmers and the agriculture community.
It takes someone that knows agriculture and the special needs farmers have to do hauling for grain, lime, fertilizer, and more. Dale Williams Trucking has been trusted by area farmers for over 50 years and 3 generations. Let us take care of your ag hauling this season.
Contact Dale Williams Trucking in Fillmore, Illinois by clicking their icon above the weather at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Andrea Bach from the Christian County YMCA, where it's all about youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. Find out about our great programs and activities at your local YMCA by clicking our icon on the obituary page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Local farm broadcaster Jared White covers the local agriculture news you need to know. Weekday mornings at 6:40 and weekday afternoons at 12:20. Hear his reports by downloading the free WTIM mobile app at the Apple Store or Google Play.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. My name's Tim Zalabak. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm sitting down with Kirby Kastner. She's the Pana Economic Development Director, and we talked all about the great projects happening in Pana, the downtown development and development of all types of businesses. And let's learn a little bit more about of Pana and the development district. What's going on with PIDC? I forget the acronym.
Yes, PIDC, Pana Industrial Development Corporation. So that is the group that oversees all of the development out at our industrial park, which is right outside of Pana. We didn't really have much going on there for the longest time. And then we had a huge project come along through Great Western Products. And they are actually building a brand new 100,000 square foot facility out there. I can't remember. I want to say that it's approximately 35 to 40 jobs, I believe, to start off with. So that's a really big deal for Pana Industrial Park specifically. But then kind of funny with that, though, like the week that we got everything finalized with that, one of our other buildings out there at the industrial park announced that they were going to be closing. And so it's like, well, crap, like here we have this new development going on out there, but now we're going to have a vacant building because it takes a special person to come along and need a building of that size and things of that nature. But then luckily B&R Marine purchased that building. And so they are moving along with getting everything relocated into that new facility. So we just keep having major successes out there too. I don't live very far from the industrial park. I noticed the other day driving by that Great Western Products, they have walls going up now, which is amazing. They're really moving right along. So yeah, we're getting some really great successes out there.
That's amazing. And it's good how that happened. One development park opens, one closes, but then it's been bought up. Who were the people that bought up the one that closed recently? It's a Marine?
B&R Marine.
What do
Yes.
they do?
They are a barge construction company. They're out of Taylorville, but they're a barge construction company. They also do boat sales, boat parts, accessories, boat repairs, just different things. And yeah, so they really wanted that building, and they're relocating all their operations to that. So I mean, we were very blessed to work with them as well.
Yeah,
So
that's you said he was going to take a special buyer for that building.
Right.
Who's going to take that, but you found it. That's
yeah,
pretty awesome.
and it was
man.
very quickly too.
Wow.
So it was we're very blessed.
That's
yes.
great. That's great. You
Mhm.
took a step forward, then a step back. Now you're 2 steps forward. So
Yes,
that's awesome. That's great.
absolutely.
Great for the city of Pana. Any more projects that you want to get out there for anyone?
We have a lot of projects going on. We are looking into a lot of different grant opportunities, different programs through grant opportunities, specifically with infrastructure improvements that are needed around the community. Pana, as well as many other communities across the state of Illinois, are facing unfunded mandates in regards to their sewer treatment facility plants, also lead line replacements that they have to do, different things like that, which if you don't seek out certain grant opportunities, those costs could potentially be affecting the customer, seen through their water bills. And we're trying everything we can do to prevent those. So we're looking at multiple different grant opportunities for infrastructure improvements, as well as recreational improvements and development, different economic development things. So yeah.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about some developing the businesses, but then you got to think about, hey, we got to have the correct water lines in place, and everything needs to be right there so people don't pay more for their water bills.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
too many things.
Yeah, the government has their hand in a lot of those things that we have to face the consequences of. So we're doing everything within our power to try and alleviate any of those concerns for our customers. So yeah,
Amazing.
you have to fix everything below ground before you can fix it above ground.
It's a metaphor, but also it's real. It's a real statement. Okay.
Yes,
That makes
absolutely.
sense. Yeah, that's amazing. All right, and it's Pana. City of Pana is in good hands. Their government. It sounds really great. Now, there's a big event coming up for Pana coming up
Mhm.
soon. It's the Tri-County Fair. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Labor Day weekend period is huge in Pana. Any of the listeners, if you don't come to Pana on Labor Day traditionally, I would really encourage you to do so. Between the Tri-County Fair and our Labor Day Parade, which is one of the largest in the state of Illinois, we have a lot to offer in Pana. It's definitely the busiest time of the year in Pana. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
This parade seems amazing. You said it's one of the biggest in Illinois. Well, what makes it so amazing for people to come into the Pana parade, and how is it so long? Who comes in? What is it?
I honestly can't tell you what the history is behind the parade. It's just always been there my entire life. I've never missed it. I
Wow.
mean, everybody just always goes, and through the entire route, I mean, you're like, rows back along the street. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That many people coming out. Your rows back in.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. People set their chairs out like 2 days in advance in their spot, which is quite comical. But yes, they want their spot.
It's like a
So
Black Friday sale or something.
Yeah.
You gotta get out there early if you want a spot.
yes,
That's awesome.
absolutely.
You're saying that's happening Labor Day. This is the big
Yes.
Labor Day week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah.
And that's the Pana Tri-County Fair and the parade happening. That's amazing. And what does that mean for the community? Just the parade coming in every single year, like you said.
It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
just our time to shine, like that. It's our time to show what Pana has and how we all come together. And like I was telling you during the break too, that's when a lot of people come home that, were from Pana but moved away. That's when we have a lot of our high school reunions and just different things like that. So everybody just comes back together, and it's a really long, eventful weekend. So yeah.
I'm sure it's great for the businesses, and then like
Yeah.
you said, high school reunions can happen then. That's really
Yeah.
awesome. Smaller communities like that, it's hard to get a chance to meet up with people again. That's a great opportunity to do it. That's really awesome.
Yep.
We got about a minute left, Kirby. Is there anywhere people can go for information on the city and Any information?
Yeah, the city of Pana has a website that you can go on and just look at anything that you need to know, like government wise. Also, we have multiple nonprofit organizations in town that you can check out on Facebook. We have Pana Pride, Pana Historical Society, Pana Parks Revitalization. We have all different groups that work to try to promote Pana and make it the best that it can be.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Kirby, thank you so much for taking the time. to sit down
Absolutely.
with us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
Absolutely. That's Kirby Kessler. She's the Pana Economic Development Director, and there's so many things going on in Pana right now, and that you're not going to want to miss, and you're going to want to be there for. I mean, they got the Tri-County Fair coming up, the parade coming down on Labor Day week, and all of the great downtown improvements and improvements to the businesses that have been coming down the way. This has been great. Once again, that was Kirby Kessler with the Pana Economic Development. She's the director. And this has been the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. More with the WTIM Morning Show coming soon.
WTIM.
Due to testify today on Capitol Hill, Devin Archer is scheduled before